In this episode, we will talk about how easy is it to date a Filipino woman. Let's face it, the women are the number one reason why any man goes to the Philippines. It's not to save money. It's not to look at the beaches or have a happy retirement. The reason is because they're so easy to date. Let's get into this a little bit more. Someone says, by easy, do you mean how easy is it to get a Filipino woman to go out with you? Or how easy is it to get her to be interested enough to keep dating you, and vice versa? Either way, a complicated question and depends on a few key variables. 1. Does this woman live in the Philippines? If so, where and which province? What class is her family, socially, educationally, and financially? What's her education background? And how old, successful, handsome, family oriented, and generally kind, understanding, and gracious are you? Somewhere around 90%, maybe more, of all Filipinas in the Philippines are considered poor on a world scale. But on a whole, Filipinos are some of the happiest people in the world. So poor doesn't always equate to desperate or some burning desire to live in a developed country, and especially to marry outside the culture. I should get this out there right up front. If a Filipino has a choice between a middle-aged, maybe divorced American man with a house and a good job in the US and a Filipino man closer to her own age with the same financial standing, she'll choose the Filipino guy every day of the week. The issue is those Filipino men are very rare and have their pick of the litter. I've lived in Cebu, just a couple hundred meters from the IT park, where thousands of beautiful and educated Filipinas work. And I've lived in the province, in Mindanao, where female college graduates work at Gaisano, the Philippines equivalent to Walmart, for $8 a day. No degree, and you're selling your home cooked goods to neighbors in the hot sun. And there are thousands and thousands of women in that situation. Let's start with Cebu. I'm currently 59 years old, tall, very fit, and generally handsome, so my mother says. When I stroll around IT Park or Ayala Mall, or eat at nice restaurants, or have coffee at upscale shops, women make no effort at all to communicate with me. It's not that they're not interested. They're just more cultured and don't act like little schoolgirls. But if you approach them as a generally considerate man with a sense of humor, they'll happily chat with you. And once they're screened to make sure you're not married or otherwise attached, Filipinos are not into one-night stands, unless they're prostitutes. And there are some. Yes, they'll go out with you. Girls in the province, the country, on the other hand, are simply shy. Funny though. They'll lock eyes, stare at you, giggle with their friends as you walk by, but they rarely ever speak unless spoken to. But if you smile and say something engaging, you're in the conversation, albeit most likely a much less sophisticated one with the city girl. And 50 to 60% of what you say will go right over their head. She'll go out with you, take you to meet her parents, haha. They may show up for the date or at least a sister or a friend, and move in and start planning the wedding within a few days. So again, yes, they'll go out with you. But can you continue to date them? And they continue to date you? Well, you're generally a good guy, halfway funny, no but ugly, and her family likes you, then she will never break up with you, unless you screw around. Then she'll not only break up with you, she'll exact revenge like you've never seen. The question comes down to, can you continue to date her? And that all depends on just how much mental stimulation you need for a relationship. A Filipina will basically do anything with you: go hiking, play tennis, work out, swim, travel, drink beer, water sports, whatever you name it. And if had any sense at all during the picking phase, she's likely quite pretty and youthful. She'll have no objection to intimacy. To the contrary, she'll likely surprise you in a good way. She won't play games and doesn't hold sex over your head, but a really big but, unless she's well educated and well read and uncommonly logical, sorry but true, your conversations will be extremely shallow, and you may end up feeling like you're dating a third grader. The Philippines is a culture absolutely fraught with myths, legends, fictions, and folklore. A mix of Catholic traditions entwined with old world paganism and simplistic, erroneous answers to nearly every daily challenge abound. Unless your girl had educated parents, most college girls are the first such in their families, then she had a myriad of strange ideas and beliefs modeled for her from childhood, and she likely bought in. It may seem cute at first, and maybe you're willing to overlook it in exchange for her friendliness, general helpfulness, beauty, and romanticism. But maybe not. When you have a series of arguments about whether her father should go to the hospital when he's having chest pains, and she and her mom says it's just air in the chest, they should rub him down with ointment. You may hit the panic button, but that's a personal choice, and only you can weigh the pros and cons. So, will Filipina date you? Sure, unless you're an ass, unhygienic, or a cheater. And will you enjoy dating her? Well, if you're the active type, she'll be your best buddy. She'll jump on the back of your motorcycle or tent camp across America. But in 95% of the cases, she won't be in a book club with you. A very interesting look at dating a Filipina. Let's talk about it. Dating a Filipina is not difficult. It's the easiest from any country in the world. However, what do you consider a date? What are you looking for to obtain or achieve? If you're just looking to go out and enjoy a meal with a random person, then yeah, sure, it's a good idea. But the difference is, while you look at her and fantasize or imagine a relationship, how your life could be, she's thinking, money, 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 ATM, how much can I get from this man? That's the problem. And the good ones, like in the province, like this man says, have simple brains. They cannot comprehend or discuss any topics. At that point, you're simply looking for a physical connection. Then why bother with such women anyways? Why not just date the ones that want the same thing and just pay a little bit instead of taking them out for dinner, investing time, energy, and effort when you can have the same thing for the same price with someone much more experienced? These things must be definitely thought out through because you don't want to be in a situation that you're not happy with. You don't want to be with someone who has the maturity of a teenager, has the body of a 35-year-old, and has zero value to you aside from a physical one. If you just want physical, then you can just go to the bar and do what every other man seems to be doing in the Philippines. Let me know, what do you think of dating a Filipina? Is it easy? Have you dated one before? I want to know your stories. Share them in the comment section of this video. It is now time for the best and worst comment from yesterday. The best comment is absolutely not. All she gets is good time out with you and that's it. Buy her clothes, makeup. If you're an older man, of course. If you're young as me, fit, copper-colored, and handsome, there is no need to spend money on women here. And for God's sakes, do not buy her a lot, condo, or car. Give the family money, etc. Rinse and repeat, and you'll be fine here. I prefer other women in Asia, though. Perfect. I agree completely with this comment. Never give money or an allowance to a girl. Why? Does not make sense. You are not here to save her. Unless there's a huge age gap. In that case, we all know why she's with you. And if you want that relationship, you essentially have no choice but to pay for it. The worst comment is, come on, bro. It's not only the Philippines girls who want money. All girls around the world want that. Yes, I know. I never claimed only in the Philippines in any of my videos. The entire purpose of these videos and these channels is to show you the other side of it. That this country has everything that these other vloggers don't tell you. That they're not all traditional. That they're not all looking for age gap and just love you. This is the other side. And yes, like everywhere else in the world, women want money and security. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, please the YouTube overlords. God bless.